Cecilia. Enter Cleomens and Dion. The common's delicate, the air most sweet, fertile the isle, the temple much surpassing, the common praise it bears. I shall report, for most it cost me, the celestial habits. Methinks I should term them, and the reverence of the grave wearers. Oh, the sacrifice! How ceremonious, solemn, and unearthly it was I the offering. But of all, the burst and the ear-deafening voice of the oracle, kin to Jove's thunder, so surprised my sense that I was nothing. If the event or the journey prove as successful to the queen, be it so, as it hath been to us rare, pleasant, speedy, the time is worth the use on't. Great Apollo, turn all to the best. These proclamations so forcing faults upon Hermione, I little like. The violent carriage of it with clear or end of business, when the oracle thus by Apollo's great divine sealed up, shall the conscience discover something rare, even then will rush to knowledge. Go, fresh horses, and gracious be the issue. Scene 2, Cecilia, a court of justice. Leonts, lords, and officers. This sessions to our great grief we pronounce, even pushes against our heart. The party tried the daughter of a king, our wife, and one of us too much beloved. Let us be cleared of being tyrannous, since we so openly proceed in justice, which shall have due course, even to the guilt or the purgation produce the prisoner. It is a highness pleasure that the queen appear in person here in court. Silence. Enter Hermione guarded, Paulina and ladies attending. Read the indictment. Hermione, queen to the worthy Leonts, king of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason, and committing adultery with Polixenes, king of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camilla to take away the life of our sovereign lord the king, thy royal husband. The pretence whereof being by circumstances pastly laid open now, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, didst counsel and aid them for the better safety to fly away by night. Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other, but what comes from myself, it shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity, being counted falsehood, shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not then, but innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know, who least will seem to do so. My past life hath been so continent, as chaste, as true, as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though it devised and played to take spectators. For behold me a fellow of the royal bed, which a moiety of the throne, a great king's daughter, the mother to a hopeful prince, here standing to prate and talk for life and honor, forth who please to come and fear. For life, I prize it as I weigh grief, which I would spare for honor. 'Tis a derivative from me to mine, and only that I stand for. I appeal to your own conscience, sir, before Polixenes came to your court, how I was in your grace, how merited to be so. Since he came, with what encounter so incurrent I have strained to appear thus. If one jot beyond the bound of honor, or in act or will that was inclining, hardened be the hearts of all that hear me, and my nearest of kin cry fie upon my grave. I ne'er heard yet that any of these bolder vices wanted less impudence to gainsay what they did than to perform it first. That's true enough, though 'tis a saying, sir, not due to me. You will not own it. More than mistress of, which comes to me in the name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess I loved him as an honor he required, with such a kind of love as might become a lady like me, like a love even such, so, and no other, as yourself commanded, which not to have done, I think, had been in me both disobedient and ingratitude to you and toward your friend, whose love and spoke, even since it could speak, from an infant freely that it was yours. Now for conspiracy, I know not how it tastes, though it be dished for me to try how. All I know of it is that Camilla was an honest man, and why he left your court. All I know is that Clayton was an honest man, and why he left your court the gods themselves, watching no more than I, are ignorant. You knew of his departure, as you know what you have undertaken to do in absence, sir. Sir, yes, sir. I'm not having some dumbass old woman come like some scientist. Excuse me.
I remember.
Cheney, you have a mental disorder. I didn't realize Camilla was a man here.
I don't remember what that was. That was days ago.
I promise you they've went in and changed the names from the actual paperwork. The original written. And why he left your court. Okay. You knew of this departure. You speak a language that I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, which I'll lay down. Your actions are my dreams. You had a bastard by Polixenes, but you understand me, Rosetta. And I but dreamed it, as you were past all shame. Those are your factors, so past all truth, which to deny concerns more than avails. For as thy brat hath been cast out like to itself, no father owning it, which is indeed more criminal in thee than the it, so thou shalt feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death. Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would fright me, which I seek, to me can life be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor, I do give lost, for I do feel it gone, but I know not how it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body, from this presence I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starred most unluckily, is from my breast, the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, hauled out to murder. Myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet with a modest hatred. Propaganda? The child bed privilege denied, which belongs to women of all fashion, like 3,000-year-old propaganda. Lastly hurried here to this place, I the open air, before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive, that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed, but yet hear this. Mistake me not, no life. I prize it not a straw. But for my honour, which I would free, if I shall be condemned upon surmises, all prove sleeping else, but what your jealousy awake, I tell you 'tis rigour and not law. Your honours all I do refer me to the oracle. Apollo, be my judge. This your request is altogether just. Therefore bring forth, and in Apollo's name, his oracle. Are you talking about just wailing, randomly wailing on people for no reason at all? The Emperor of Russia was my father. Oi, that he were alive, and here beholding his daughter's trial, that he did but see the fatness of my misery, yet with my eyes of pity, not revenge. I'd say, as far as I'm concerned, I can walk around with a gun on my shoulder and just start popping off of people. That's what we're gonna do. Especially if you're gonna be the ones with money and you're preventing me from having money, and you're doing shit like that. I promise you, I'll go pop every goddamn one of you right now. If you're not gonna give me the property you owe me, I promise you. I'm not kidding. The certificates, Missouri. It's not a joke. You're in debt. You're using my name. I promise you. It's not a joke. Take it upon yourself. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn sunny day.
Point, I'll even get on live and tell you about it. With confidence at this point, you're in debt to me. I promise.
Re-enter officers with Cleomans and Dion.
After like the 100th tornado.
You here shall swear upon this sword of justice.
You're using my name.
Cleomans and Dion have been both at Delphos,
you're going to
and
pay
from
for
thence
it.
have brought this sealed up oracle
Chris.
by the hand delivered of great Apollo priest.
It's not a joke
and
at all.
that since you have not dared to break the holy seal, nor read the secrets in't, all this we swear. Break up the seals and read. Hermione is chaste, Polixenes blameless, Camillo a true subject, Leonce a jealous tyrant, his innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir, if that which is lost be not found. Now blessed be the great Apollo, praised. Hast thou read truth? Aye, my lord, even so as it is here set down. There is no truth at all, I the oracle. The session shall proceed, this is more falsehood. Enter a servant. Dude, I'm not even going to break this down for you. Now that I see this. Apollo, okay. Apollo's in Antonio. Okay. That makes more sense. But that's kind of what it's like. See, I'm not going to break this down. Traitor. Again, I think, see, Shakespeare already mentioned a child cannot be a traitor. A child cannot commit treason. Enter a servant. My lord, the king, the king.
You're the one that set it up that way, dude.
What is this business? Oh, sir, I shall be hated to report it. The prince, your son, with more conceit.
Either you furthered it or you ended it.
Is gone. How? Gone. Is dead. Apollo's angry, and the heavens themselves do strike at my injustice. How now there? This news is mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing. Take her hints. Her heart is but o'ercharged. She will recover. I have too much belief
wait
mine,
there.
own
We're not
suspicion.
dealing with that.
Beseech
It's
you
kind of the
tenderly
point of
apply
this.
to her some remedies for
I don't care
life.
about your personal opinions. You've lost.
Dude,
at
I'm not
this
gonna
point.
get into that. You,
Okay.
I'll call you
No,
a
I don't
name,
care
but
about
I'm,
the weight and the
I'm
person's
not gonna
shame
say
there. I
your
don't
name.
care about it. I don't need it. I promise you.
That's funny to me. No.
I'll sit there and run in a circle, you bitch. I don't care at all. Does not
Apollo,
make a bit of a
pardon.
difference
You are.
at all.
Antonio,
I
you're
promise
pardoned. My great profaneness against thine
Stupid
oracle,
motherfucker,
I
it's
reconcile
not a
me to
joke.
Polixenes.
Just 'cause some goddamn
New woo
retard
my
comes in here
queen,
and
recall the good Camilla,
spills his personal
whom I
opinion.
proclaim a man
It
of
ain't gonna
truth
mean
and
nothing to
mercy.
me, I promise you. Keep it
For
to
being
yourself, I do
transported
not
by my
care.
jealousies to bloody thoughts and to revenge, I chose Camilla for the
You got
minister
it, buddy.
to poison
I
my
promise
friend
you, I'm not playing with
Polixenes,
you.
which had been done. But that the good mind of Camilla tardied, my swift command, though I
Let's get it
with
straight
death
here.
and with reward did threaten to encourage him. Not doing it and being done, he most humane
We're
and
not
filled with
arguing
honor
at
to my
all.
kingly quest, unclasped my practice, quit his fortunes
Appreciate it,
here,
though.
which you knew great, and to the certain hazard of all
no, you're
incertainties
not.
himself commended no
At all,
richer than his
Hercules.
honor.
Think so.
How he glisters through my lust, and
So
how
get
his
it-
piety
get it
does
through your
my
head, I
deeds
promise.
make the
No,
blacker.
you are not. I don't need to feel the weight. I don't give a fuck. Take it somewhere else.
Boogity boogity. That's all that is. Re-injured Paulina. Woe the while.
Putting weight
Don't
in the
cut
room
my
is your
legs,
shame, not mine.
lest my heart cracking it break too. What fit is this, good lady? Last time I checked, you guys
There
were
it
throwing
is,
bottles
right there
at me
it
and
is.
shit.
I'm gonna walk over here.
What studied torments tyrants hast for me?
They get deeper.
What wheels
Dig
racks
that hole
fires?
deeper, I
What
promise you.
flame? What
Treason.
boiling?
I
In
promise you,
leaves
I'll
or
take you
oils? What old or new of torture?
We're
Must
not
I
further
receive
in this
whose every word
conspiracy
deserves to taste
whatsoever,
of thy
decision
most
maker.
worst? Thy tyranny, together working with thy jealousies. Fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of mine. Oi, think what they have done, and then run mad indeed, stark mad for all. Thy bygone foliage were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant, and damnable ungrateful. Nor was't much. Thou wouldst have poisoned good Camilla's honor. To have him kill a king. Poor trespasses, more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth the crowns, thy baby daughter, to be of none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire, ere dunt nor estrangulate thee, the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts,
The extra force that's being put into
thoughts
the
high
town,
for one,
that's
so
kinda what
tender,
we're talking about.
cleft
and
the
it's
heart
going to
that could
stop.
conceive a gross and foolish sire. Blemish
That
this
was kind of
gracious
the
dam.
purpose of
This
the
is
ark, not
no
you,
late thy
dumbass.
answer, but the last, O lords, when I have said, cry, woe, the queen, the queen. The sweetest, dearest creature's dead, and vengeance for it, not dropped down yet. The higher powers forbid. I say she's
I
dead, I'll
appreciate it.
swear it,
Thank
if
you.
for nor oath. Prevail not to go and see if you can bring tincture of lustre in her lip, her eye.
We're
heat
not doing
artificially,
this.
Or breathe within.
I promise
I'll
you, shoot
serve
on
you
sight
as
at
I
this
would
point
do the
moving forward.
gods.
I'm not putting
But
up with
oi,
this
thou
flashing light
tyrant,
bullshit,
do
I
not
promise
repent
you.
these things, for they are heavier
not
than all the
furthering this
woes can
conspiracy,
stir.
I promise
Therefore
you.
betake
I
thee
am
to
not
nothing but
kidding with you,
despair.
Mark.
1,000 knees, 10,000